Hi, this is Dr. Ken Richter. Today, the medical markets are flooded and aimed at living older and better. So if you get to be 100 years old, what's the secret? Why is there variability in biologic age? For instance, we're not surprised to see a 75-year-old in a wheelchair, and we're equally not surprised to see a 75-year-old on a political campaign trail. In studies looking at longevity, there is understood that health habits and positive attitudes only go so far in the aging process. Some similarities with 100-year-olds show that 90% are still independent and intact mentally. They have bypassed all the things that can get us before the age of 90. It seems that they just handle those diseases that much better and suffer no consequences of the illnesses. They have greater functional reserves. The older you get, the healthier you've been. Ask what's the secret? People have stated, well, they just haven't gotten sick. Sounds flippant, but they live longer because they don't get sick. 281 genetic markers have been discovered that show protective benefit, slowing aging and making this group less vulnerable to disease. There is a supposed genetic clock that runs slower in older individuals, and there are not as many genes that make them susceptible to illness. So what is real age? Well, a study of 1,000 patients was conducted to follow these patients from birth in the early 1970s. It is believed that the answer to aging will be found in the younger patient and not after years of life. In recent data released, it was learned that those who were found to have an older biologic age were noted to have systematic aging in multiple systems, and these were coordinated changes. Clearly, there has to be some basic molecular mechanisms of aging that cause the various diseases that disable and ultimately kill us. In 1975, Leonard Hayflick, a microbiologist, was able to show that cells in our body have a time limit for replicating and will die, unlike cancer cells that don't stop replicating. He also learned that cells can be frozen and when thawed out would pick up dividing right where they left off. This led to the idea of cryonics. This led to studies in the 1980s that noted that tips of chromosomes called telomeres would be shortened with each division of the chromosome, and eventually the process would stop and the cell would die. Telomere shortening is now considered a biomarker of cellular aging, and shortened telomeres have been linked to age-related disease, including heart disease, Alzheimer's, stroke, and obstructive lung disease. Even chronic stress can wear away telomeres and hasten death. It has been noted that men and women have the same length telomeres until the age of 50. And then there's a large split, and men tend to have an accelerated shortening until the age of 75, when those with blunted telomeres die from disease. Anyone who lives beyond the age of 75 has dodged the hail of bullets that can kill the majority of us. Now, there's also something called the Epigenetic Clock. There are 5 so-called blue zones in the world where more people live past 100 years old than any other location on the globe. The Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, Okinawa, Japan, Loma Linda, California, Sardinia, Italy, and Icaria, Greece. When DNA samples from these populations were studied, they were found to have longer telomeres than age-matched populations. Our life experiences exert a profound influence on how we age, and can even alter the ways genes function without changing the underlying DNA sequence. These changes are called epigenetic traits. So forces, outside forces like stress, poverty, environmental toxins can accelerate aging, and the opposite is true to reverse the aging. More studies are underway to understand why we age and why certain people can live beyond that 100-year mark. It goes without saying that we all live within a 24-hour period, and to a great extent, we have a choice how we intend to use that time. So make it a point to do for others, but also take care of yourself in the process. We had that same 24-hour period, and we have the decision of how we're going to spend that time. Listen to our moms. We want good eating, good resting, decreased stress. Make sure we stay away from any type of environmental toxins and live in a healthy environment. These type of things will preserve our health that we know, and there's more to be learned. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll all get to 100 together. This is Dr. Ken Richter with your Curbside Consult.